Good evening. This is that one guy broadcasting from stormy Holland. Tonight we're going to be flying an experimental craft in my career file. Now, because I don't want to waste any time in my career file, I'm going to launch now, and this probe is destined for Val. Let's go over what's going on here before we get too far into the flight. These stages right here are going to be primarily what get us into orbit. It's an asparagus loadout. Whoa. It's an asparagus loadout, as you can see from right here. This stage right here is going to be used for our trans-Julian ejection, and I've got a way to clean up the space debris that this will particularly leave if I didn't do anything. This next stage up here is going to be used for Julian maneuvering to get us over to Val, and then this stage up here is going to be used for landing on Val proper. The whole thing is a probe, and again, this is in my career mode because I have not landed on Val in my career mode yet. And earlier today, I came up with a new way for myself to get out to Val. Well, not Val, Joule, but Val is orbiting Joule, so we'll go with that. Anyways, I'm going to let a little music play until I need to do my burns. Okay, and we're back. What we're going to do now is I've had to wait for the moon to move slightly, and I've been playing around with my, what is that thing called? Maneuver node, in order to get a Julian ejection orbit that will actually hit Joule. Now, this piece on the bottom here, let me see here, I can probably get away with 20 degrees minus. Sounds good. Okay, now this piece on the bottom here, I'm going to zoom back into the craft. This piece right here is never going to leave the Kerbin SOI. What it's going to end up doing is it's going to build up the insane speed needed to get out of the Kerbin SOI and send this whole payload on a Julian intercept. Now, if I run out of fuel with this, I've got these guys right here, but it looks like I should be okay. One thing I am going to do, though, is I'm going to transfer some monopropellant into there. Now, this burn is going to take us from here, and by the time I detach from this lower stage, we're probably going to be out here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the lower stage around and suicide burn at Kerbin until I get a Kerbin capture with the lower stage. It has its own little probe engine. Or, I'm sorry, probe body. The problem with my career mode is this. This little section right here looks funky because I don't have the bigger probe yet. I've been investing in other things with my science. And I regret that a little bit, but not much. So what we're going to do is we're just going to build up the 2,000 meters of delta V that we need. This is actually what I use to get my heavier payloads out to the Mun, this little thing right here, and because it is able to get back from the Mun with fuel to spare, and I actually put a little bit of extra fuel on that. It does a very good job. I call it the Joule bullet, this whole lower setup right here. So I guess sit back, relax. I'm going to put some music back on. Then what's going to happen is you're going to see me eject this because with my time warp it's going to take about 30 seconds maybe. going to see me eject this, flip it around, suicide burn, and this is going to be on its way over to Jewel. Speaking of, let's go ahead and get this oriented so that I don't really have to play with it too much. I've got 2 of the giant solar panels here, so that when I do detach this, these will always track the sun because I have it in a north-south orientation. Alright, here we go. I may be in a little bit of hot water here. The mun is throwing my trajectory off, but let's see what we have going on here. Okay. This shouldn't be too hard of a fix, actually. We know for a fact that we're close, so let's go ahead and flip this thing. We know for a fact that we're close to the trajectory that we need. And we also know that we're close to the velocity we need. We slowed down a little bit when we went by the mun, which that's not that big of a deal, nor is it necessarily a deal breaker, because our bullet actually put us very close to here. Now, the bullet did screw up a little bit in that I haven't tested how heavy of a payload it can take, which apparently this one is... Wait a second. There we are. Which apparently this payload is a little bit too much for it, but, you know, you live and you learn. No big deal. Now, we're going to just do a nice little burn here in order to get a nice intersect. Now, our goal is to get to be about 110 kilometers above the surface of Jewel, and this will allow us to aero brake at Jewel, dumping a lot of the Delta V for us automatically. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some stuff. I'm going to terminate. I'm pointing at the screen like you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to terminate this flight just because I don't want anything hitting this. And then I'm going to... first, let's get this out to the sun. And then I'm going to follow this flight, put on a little music, and no problem. We'll be on our way to Jewel. Okay, here we go. Well, crap it all. Ugh, I need to pay more attention to these things. I accidentally bumped myself too far into Joule's atmosphere. It caused a catastrophic failure of the mission. So, yeah, we're wasting mono. What do I care? Whatever. Let's see this thing just go nuts. Step one. Separate that, so we've got two things to watch. Oh my goodness, that was bad. Well, this thing is definitely going to crash into Joule, but we might be able to get some scientific data from it. We are well within the atmosphere here. Alright, here we go. While flying at Joule. I like it. Alright, I've got a thermometer on here somewhere. Yes, here it is. Let's log the temperature. That's very cold. Which you wouldn't think it would be, because, you know, my craft is on fire and dying. I don't know, I guess I have really bad luck with, like, Vallient craft. Jeez Louise, I need to stop naming my craft Valiant. Valiant whatever. Now, whatever happened to the debris? Wow, we are outpacing that thing for sure. Kind of surprised that the solar panels are still intact. Alas. Oh no, not enough big enough electric charge. Well, this is unfortunate.